My name's Caleb Fairley. I'm from Amarillo, Texas. Started racing in 2002. This will be my first year with Team SpiderTech. My father used to ride and race a long time ago, and he had stopped, and then when he picked back the sport, he kind of brought me along, and he introduced me to cycling. So, and from there it took off. My father was probably the most influential guy growing up. I grew up in Amarillo, Texas, so it's a small cycling community. There's only a few guys that actually rode bikes, just because Amarillo's in the middle of nowhere. So my father, and then just the local community, actually was very good in kind of bringing me along and showing me what they knew. Yeah, I think Amarillo was. I still can't believe I kept riding my bike after living there, just because it's middle of nowhere. The wind is blowing, 40 kilometers, 25 miles an hour every day. No mountains, just farm roads and wind. So, yeah, it was a rough place, but I think it was good. It kind of shaped my character. It's a tough place to ride a bike, and I think it's good for me in the end. I mean, I call myself an all-rounder, but my favorite type of course would be like punchy, short, steep climbs that end in a small group of 30 or 40 guys. I like to say I can kind of do a little bit of everything, but those are my favorite types of courses. I mean, I think the goal of every cyclist is to race in the Tour de France. So, I mean, that's my number one goal, to win a stage. Is my goal in my career at one point. And then there's, I have some races that are my favorite races that suit my characteristics. Some of the spring classics that I hope eventually I can maybe one day be competitive in. But those are probably, ultimate targets. When I retire, I can look back and say, hopefully I've done this. At heart, we're competitors. We want to win. We want to be successful. So, you take your break, and then, you take a couple months, which is good. But then the biggest motivator is racing and trying to figure out something you can do different so you can be a better athlete. Try to find that extra % or two or advantage to win. I mean, it's all those things. It's the narrow roads. It's the intensity in the peloton. It's you maybe don't win all the time, but winning once, it's such a good feeling. It keeps you going. You never forget what it feels like, and just competitiveness. That's all it is. Probably one of the biggest setbacks is really this last season, because I signed my first pro contract. And your first pro contract is supposed to be 2 years, and after the first year, the team folded that I was a part of. So that was probably my biggest setback, just because there's 2 years for a reason, and yeah, that was probably the biggest one, overcoming that in a tough market too. I'm really excited actually to be a part of Team SpiderTech. It's a little bit of just a little bit lower level than what I was a part of last year, but I think it's going to be good for me. It's going to give me the opportunity to have some more chances for myself, a little bit more freedom, and I think a little bit more responsibility, which I tend to perform well when I have some sort of expectation, and I think Steve Bauer and Team SpiderTech give me that. I mean, racing a bike, you spend most of your life is bike racing. It consumes it. So there's not much downtime. So my downtime, I usually, I like to spend time with my wife, Allison, my family, and I love the outdoors. So stream fishing, having barbecues, just being with family and friends is the most important thing.